Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sally and let's talk about books. So for today's video, I am very excited to finally be able to film this. I am doing a bookshelf tour. This is the bookshelf in question, and I've been meaning to film this video for the longest time ever, and I've been asked for the longest time, especially over on my Instagram, to do a bookshelf tour, and I just never got around to doing it until now. So I'm very excited, and let's get right into it. We have a lot to go through. So I also do have a special surprise announcement that I'm very excited about. I don't want to make this intro too long, so I'm just gonna jump ahead and do the announcement at the very end of the video. So if you want to stay and watch until the very end, or just skip ahead to get to the news, I am very excited to share this video. So I did ask you guys over on my Instagram, how do you guys wanted to see this video? I didn't know what format should I do it in, and then I figured I would do it this way. This is how it's gonna work. What I think I'm gonna end up doing is giving you the general view, a little close up to each one of the shelves, and then maybe highlight a few like interesting books or special editions or whatever, highlight or pinpoint in each shelf. I might point it out, but I'm not gonna like show you every single book, so I don't bore you to that, and this just doesn't become the longest video ever. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully that format works, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, the first disclaimer is I think my bookshelf is not as organized as I think it seems to be. The thing is, I am in a little bit with a fight with my bookshelf right now because I'm running out of space. It's almost full. I have very little space left. So I'm just kind of trying to fit things wherever they fit sometimes. So a few shelves have no rhyme or rhythm whatsoever. They're just a complete mess. Not really an organization there. And then another shelves have a complete theme to them, you know, completely coordinated everything. So that's the thing, you know, we're gonna see very organized shelves and then very what the hell is going on shelves. So we have a little bit of everything here. And disclaimer number 2, you are gonna see a lot of repeated copies of different books. The reason for this, I am a person who takes a lot of joy and comfort on buying multiple copies of my favorite books, and this has like a whole list of reasons. I'm that person, so I do have a lot of copies of some books or series. So bear with me, you're gonna see a lot of repeated copies, but yeah. So I don't know if you can tell, but I divided my bookshelf into big genres per se. I am mostly a big romance and fantasy reader, so my bookshelves are divided. So I don't know if you can tell, but these 4 top shelves are mostly fantasy. They are, I mean, I think you can tell, like the colors are mostly more just dark and the darker shades, and then all of the colorful color palette is down below. This is romance, this is fantasy. So this is how it is divided, and of course inside is like subdivisions of everything, you know, but this is mostly fantasy, contemporary. That's how it's divided. And one last thing before we go, I have a few books on my nightstand just because I won't be parted from them, so I sleep next to them. So I'm gonna show you these like rapid fire just because these are not there. Most of these are double copies though. So my personal copy of Beach Read, which is my favorite book of all time. This is my annotated copy, it sleeps next to me. And my annotated copy of Archer's Voice, annotated copy of Love and Other Words, same thing. And then my annotated copy of Some Kind of Perfect, the last book Indeed Addicted / Flow Sister series, which is my most prized possession ever because I love this book so much. I love what I did with this book in my annotation process, but that's a whole nother story. So this is also sleeps next to me. This is like a double copy. And then I have Love and Luck because I was supposed to read and annotate this book for my best friend like months ago, and I still haven't done that, but I will, I promise. Maybe it's a good time for like Christmas present. I don't know, I'm gonna do it, but I still have it in my nightstand because I have to remember. And then I have Ghosted by J.M. Horror because this is supposed to be my current read. Supposed. So I'm gonna just add it. It goes there. So I'm just gonna add it for the bookshelf tour purposes, and then I'll go pick it up again because it's supposed to be my current read. Oh yeah, that's it. First things first though, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of music in the background, a little vinyl, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're good to go. Now let me show you the very general view of the whole thing. Let's do that. So this is the general view of the bookshelf. This is how it looks like. It goes from top to bottom and it was custom made. That's why it fits the wall perfectly. So yes, this is basically how it looks like in the general view. In this first shelf, I do have mostly fantasy. I have both editions of The Lunar Chronicles by Marisa Meyer. I have in Spanish and in English the whole series. I will say if anyone out there is trying to just get started in reading in English, it's not your first language or anything, I would definitely recommend starting off with The Lunar Chronicles for that. I think it's really good. And I loved it when I first read it. So it's also young adult and it's fantasy with a little bit of sci-fi kind of vibe. Really cool. Then I do have a few more fantasy romance novels. I think most of these are new adult. And then I have the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, which is adult fantasy. So this is the first one. This next shelf I have more fantasy. I mixed again young adult and adult fantasy. I had the Air Viking series by Elisa Koval, Legendborn, Become the Flame duology, and that's the young adult fantasy. And then more adult, I have the Discovery of Witches series. I have more Brandon Sanderson and the first 3 books in the A Touch of Darkness series. That's a fantasy romance. I think it's a Persephone Hades retelling. So this is this shelf. Now, I do apologize in advance for this shelf. This is just pure chaos. Like, it's absolutely a mess. I do have a few contemporaries there, and then randomly the Hunger Games trilogy just chilling there. I have Pride and Prejudice, Elantris, A Walk to Remember, and then I randomly switched to more young adult fantasy. So I'm sorry about that mess. All of these books at the right are all young adult, either fantasy or dystopian vibes, and yeah, we love her nonetheless, but she's a total mess. Okay, this one is a lot more organized, and here I have young adult fantasy. All of these books are either part of a series or part of a duology. I think right here the only ones that are a duology are these 2 right here, The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. That's a duology. All of the rest of them are either part of a series or a trilogy. And yeah, Realmbreaker, this one's, and Kingdom of the Cursed are incompleted. Yeah, they're completed, but they're part of a series. And then my personal recommendation for this shelf would be The Remnant Chronicles by Marie Pearson, The Kiss of Deception, Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness. Absolutely love that series. Since I read it, it's been years, and it's still very close to my heart. Now, this is my little corner of classics. Do not ask me how many of these I've read, but they all look so pretty. I think most of these are part of the Barnes & Noble classic collections. They are also pretty. And this is it. I do have the special edition of Little Women behind a Peter Pan copy because I wanted to display at least one of them, and again I have no more space. So there is that. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, so behind my Peter Pan copy I have this edition of Little Women. So pretty. And I can always change the book to whatever I want to display, you know? So that's this little classic corner. Into this shelf, more fantasy. All of this section is for From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. All of these are the standard paperbacks. These 3 are the Bookish Box exclusive editions I got last year, I think, and here are a few goodies related to that series. Here are a few fantasy series. I believe all of these are new adult, and this one also new adult. And then here I have all of my Shadowhunter books by Cassandra Clare. I was never a big Shadowhunter girly, you know, but I do have a few. So I really like the Infernal Devices series, which is the one I have. Special editions for Chain of Iron and Gold, and then that, I think that's a collector edition. Yeah, so this is that shelf. Okay, in this shelf I have more young adult dystopian fantasy books. I have the Strange Dreamer duology. I have Dance of Thieves duology. Fun fact, this duology is actually a spin-off from the Remnant Chronicles that I showed you a few shelves ago. This is a spin-off also by Marie Pearson. So good, definitely should read it. Then I have my collection of the Selection series. I have a paperback of The One. This is actually the first book I ever annotated. So yeah, and the book itself has just a special place in my heart, you know. And then I have 2 sets of the Selection series complete. One of each hardcovers is just like the original hardcover I got when I first got them. And then the second set are exclusive editions from, look, this is what it came with. And then they're just signed and have a little embossing and then an image in the back. That's for each one of these books, which is so cool. I love the set. So yeah, that's why I have 2 sets. And then this one just one copy of each. And then the collector's edition of Caraval, all of my copies of the series. And then this is a double copy of Finale. This is a special edition of Barnes & Noble. I think that came with this that dust jacket, like alternative illustrated dust jacket, which I love. So this is what I have here. I think this also comes with bonus content at the end or something. So this is a double copy, and then the UK edition of Once Upon a Broken Heart, and then the US signed of Once Upon a Broken Heart, Anatomy, A Love Story, and then Lovely War. I cannot wait to read this book. I am so excited. Next up we have this shelf, and you guys, this is a special one. So here I have my entire collection of the Shadow Me series. Here's all the books, and then I have 2 copies of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have this edition, which is the 10th anniversary edition. It is signed, and it is just one of the prettiest things I've ever seen. Like, look at that. And then I have this white paperback of The Song of Achilles. You guys, this cover has to be one of my favorite covers I've ever seen. I don't know what it is about this one. It just makes me want to weep every time I see it. I don't know why, but for some reason it's just so pretty to me. I just love this edition so much. So this is my copy. And then I have my entire collection of The Invisible Life of Heidi Levi Babishwa. This is one of my favorite books. And I do have 4 copies of it. This is the anniversary illustrated edition. Look at that, it's so pretty. So this is it. This is how it looks like. It's so pretty, and it comes, I think it's signed. It's signed, and it comes with a few illustrations randomly on the book and stuff. Look at that. And I don't know, it's so special. So this is the anniversary edition. And then I also have the French edition of the book, which is so pretty. I think this is one of my favorite just paperbacks ever. It makes so much more sense if you've read the book, but I mean, look at this. Like, what? I'm still so obsessed with this paperback. It is absolutely stunning. So this is it. And then I have the all-crate edition of the book, which looks like this. And then I think this is the Barnes & Noble edition. Yeah. So this is the other copy. It's a different embossing in the hardcover. So this is my collection. And this is it. And now we're back with more young adult fantasy. All of these are young adult except the Furyborn trilogy. I believe this is adult fantasy. All of the rest are young adult, and all of them are series except the Six of Crows duology and the Spell and the Lights. That's also duology, so yes, more fantasy. Now getting into the RJ Maas section of this shelf, this is my Avatar shelf, and I do have several sets of the entire series. So let me explain myself. So basically, first we have the new cover editions paperback of the series, and I annotated this for the first time on these books. So this is my annotated set of the series per se. So it is all annotated, and I just loved the experience of annotating this book so much. So these are just for me, like nobody's ever touching them but me. So yeah, then I got this secondhand when they announced the cover change. I really wanted the paperbacks, so I went ahead and got them secondhand, all these 4. And then these are my original copies. I first read them in a hardcover. This is it. One of these is signed. One of these A Court of Mist and Fury books is signed, just don't know which. And then these 2 A Court of Silver Flame copies, one of them has special content. The other one is the one I read it in, and then this is the paperback of, the set. But it's the large edition one. So yeah, and then this is the collector's edition of the first book, which is so pretty. Like, I can't even tell you. So this is how it looks. And then you pull it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what? One of the most stunning books I own is this one, definitely. And it's just so pretty. So this is a collector's edition, and yeah, this is, oh wait, let me show you this. If you didn't know, A Court of Thorns and Roses is supposed to be a loosely retelling of Beauty and the Beast, so I thought it was fitting, like my little rose. And then I found this lamp on Etsy like a year ago or so. Let me plug it in. This is basically a quote from the book. It says, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered." And it is stunning. I don't think you can see every detail of the lamp right now, but I swear the detail, it is absolutely stunning, and I am still so obsessed with this lamp. So I keep it here as well, and it looks so pretty. So this is the xoxo shelf. Now this is the Crescent City shelf. I do have several copies of each book. The highlights here, I think this copy is signed. I think it's this one. Yes, this one's signed. And then this one right here is the tour. Oh, okay. Also, I have a little dagger. It is a letter opener, like in the shape of a dagger, and I thought the aesthetic for fantasy was fitting, so I just put it there. So this is a tour edition of House of Sky and Bread. So pretty. Light it up. And then I think this one is just... Okay, this is the Books A Million exclusive edition, and it is also signed, I believe. Yes, also signed. And then this is the paperbacks, and this one right here is one of my most precious possessions ever. That book is not from this series, it is from the series in this shelf. So okay, so this is Air of Fire by Maas. It is my favorite, I think my favorite fantasy book ever. Literally changed my life. This was a custom made order, and it says to whatever end at the end, and I love it so much. I didn't put it with the series here because I have no space to display it, and I really did want to, so I put it here. So there's that, and this is the shelf. Now this is a Throne of Glass shelf. I do have again several copies of the books. The only complete set I own is the UK edition, which is this one, which is where I first read it, and then the minis are also complete, and then the rest are just double copies or special editions. So these four are my annotated copies, meant to be my annotated copies of the series. And then this one is the last book, and it is signed. This one's signed, I think. Yeah, it's from the World Tour, signed. There are a few double copies. A few of these are signed, others have like special content or stuff like that. So this one's, and then this is the collector's edition of Throne of Glass. And again, one of the prettiest books. Look at that. So this is a collector's edition. And then the minis. The minis are like the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I needed them all. So basically these minis are the complete book in a mini version, like in a Bible theme pages, and the font of the letter is like minuscule, but the whole thing is here. Like, look at that. Like, it's so tiny, but the whole entire book is here. And also a super fun thing, each one of the books is like dedicated to a different character. So again, this one for example is for Kale. So every time Kale is mentioned in the book, his name is like in a different color. You can see, like, wait a sec. Okay, like this. And then Kale is just like in a different color. I think that's it's so cute. Like, this is for Alien, so Alien is just... I'm in love. So this is my all-time favorite fantasy series. Changed my life. I was a different person when I finished this. So this is it, my Throne of Glass shelf. So now that we've talked about my favorite fantasy series, let's talk about my all-time favorite series ever, period. My favorite thing in the world is this right here, and that's the Addicted/Calorie Sister series by Kristen Beccarici. Let me explain what's going on here. So this is the complete series. Both Addicted series and the Calorie Sister series joined together is this. So this is also in reading order. So if you want to check the reading order, it's this one right here. And all of these books are signed and personalized to me. Let me put a picture of how they look because they're my pride and joy, and I cannot take like each one of them, but these are all signed. And then all of these are basically double copies. So I have a few copies of Addicted to You. This is a double copy of Ricochet, and then I have another one for when they republished. This is supposed to go here, but I have no space, so this is temporarily in another shelf. Then again, double copy. This is the original covers of these two books. This is the new covers, old covers, which I love very much. double copies, again, double copies. This one's again old covers, new covers, and this is a very funny story about this one. I have 3 copies of this one because one of them, when I first ordered the book, is not this one. I was so excited to finally start reading, and I opened it, and it randomly starts at page 49. So I had to order another copy, but like it literally starts on page 49. So I just have a little unicorn addicted after all copy here. So yeah, and then this one right here is technically a spin-off. Here, this is the deal with this one. It was supposed to be a duet. The first one was Whatever It Takes and then Whatever You Are. They recently changed it to Bad Reputation. So basically, this book is these 2 books combined into one. So this is a whole story in one book, and then this one is divided into a duet. So basically, they are the same thing. And then I have 2 copies of this one because one of each is personalized and signed to me, and then the other one is just my original copy. And then these books right here are the official spin-off of the Addicted Calloway Sisters. So this is another separate series but in the same universe, and it's not complete. I still have more books to get from the series because there are a lot. A few of these books, besides being like personalized and signed to me, have the character notes of my favorite characters of all time, Lauren Haight and Lily Calloway. This shelf, you guys, I wake up every day and I cannot believe, like, this is mine, that I own this and I get to see this every day. I can't explain how much this series meant to me, how much it changed my life. I won't keep talking about it because I'm gonna cry, but please read it if you want a complete, full-on review. Not review, but like just me explaining what's going on with this series, because there's a lot to unpack. Let me know and I'll do a different video about it because I can talk about them for days. So yeah, this is my favorite series, Detective Calloway, and this is their shelf. In this one I have a few more favorites. I have the entire of Campus series, and then the spin-off of the Campus series, Briar You, right here. All of this is hockey romances, sport college romance. And my favorite here, as you can see, is The Deal. I have 3 copies of The Deal. The first one is this one. This is the republished version, so this is a little bit shorter than the original. And I got this for my annotation, so this is gonna be my annotated copy when I reread it. And then I have this copy that is my signed and personalized here. And then this is just my original copy when I first read it. And this is it. And then I have a pocket edition of Beach Read. It's my favorite book ever. And then I have a few more favorites. So another one of my favorite books of all time is Archer's Voice. Of all time. And this copy is signed and personalized to me. And I also have the original cover in the edition of Archer's Voice. So, and then I have a few more books of Mia Sheridan right here, along with You and the Ether by Olivia Blake. And then I have 3 copies of Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is the new cover, hardcover, and then this one is signed and personalized to me as well. So this is the shelf. I don't think I mentioned this before, but please always check age ratings and trigger warnings for every book you ever read or see anywhere. So yeah, most of the ones I've shown you since we got into romance are new adult or adult. I think all of them, so please be aware of that. And here I have more romances. I have the Dresden series by Yana Huang, Marriage for One, this one right here, a highlight, one of my favorite books of all time. I have my Lauren Asher collection, more romances, a few hockey sport romance at the end. This shelf we have more romance, and again all of these are new adult, I'm pretty sure. So a few highlights of here, we have Sophie Lark here and a few more of her books there. I adore her so much. Have Ghosted. This is supposed to be my current read right now, so I'm about to start this book and I am very excited, so I'll keep you updated. And yeah, also 7 Days in June is one of my top TBR, like it's right next. I cannot wait to read that book. And this is it. Very excited. Also Before We Were Strangers, very excited for this one. And this is just more romance. Now this is one of my favorite shelves in the entire bookshelf. Basically we have the hardcover and paperback editions of several books here. One of my favorite books is again All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and I have 3 copies. I managed to get a hardcover of the first cover, the original cover, and I have this signed and personalized copy. And then this is my OG when I first read the book here. And then I have a few tweensies. I do have a paperback copy of Beach, but I lent it to my friend, so this goes there. And then I have my annotated copy, but that goes in my nightstand. And then I am just waiting to get my Love and the Brain Book of the Month copy, and it will be right here. And then the twins. So this is the twins shelf, and I really like it. Here we have more romances. These are for the most part rom-coms, I think. And I think this shelf is just so pretty. It looks so colorful, and a few highlights. Oh, I have this copy of the American Roommate Experiment. I think this is one of my favorite books of the year so far, and it is signed and personalized to me. It was also one of the first ARCs I ever received, so this means a lot. I have the Brown Sisters series here, I love Tessa Bailey, The World's Best Man, and all of my Christina Lauren collection right there. And then a few here that they don't fit anymore. But yeah, so this is the shelf. I have another romance shelf. I have all of my Mariana Zapata books right there. I have a few rom-coms. This is one of my most anticipated reads so far as well, Aristotle and Dante. I cannot believe I have not read this book yet, but I'm going to, I promise. I'm on my way there. Then I have my Colleen Hoover collection here. I have Emily Henry books here. These are the UK editions for book lovers, Beach Read, and Union Vacation. A few more of Emily Henry books and the Heartstopper. We have more romance, and this little pile is all of my historical romances. These three are historical romances, rom-coms, and then here is just more romance. Yay, I think it looks pretty. Really like this shelf as well. In this shelf, I have a few contemporary hardcovers right here in this pile, and then I have some books that have been sent by the author and some books that are pending on my TBR as well. So, honestly, in this little corner, I have a lot of books I am not sure where I can fit anymore, so they are staying here for a while until I can manage a way to rearrange them where they belong. So yeah, most of these are romances though, and yeah, no, I think all of them are new adult or adult. So this is all Rick Riordan books. I have Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Heroes of Olympus, Magnus Chase series. So this is all Rick Riordan, and this is my collection. And this is the very last shelf in the bookshelf. And again, I think it's like a romance put together shelf. But I do want to find a better place for them to go in the bookshelf. So this is just their temporary home. So yeah. I think most of these are romances. Crescent City is another copy I have. This is fantasy. And then Fragmented Souls, it's also fantasy. Embryo of the Embers, that's a board game of Throne of Glass. It's a board game. I don't know what's doing there, but like, it's okay. This is historical, I think historical romance. And then one of these two might be kind of give a fantasy or sci-fi vibe of a kind, but also romance. The rest of them, I think they're romance. All of them are new adult, I think, except maybe this Emily Henry ones. And in the French Kiss trilogy, which it is out of order, I'm sorry. Anna's first, then it's Lola, and then it's Isla, and then The Problem with Forever is also young adult. But do check trigger warnings for that one. So yeah, this is the shelf, the last one. And that's it, guys. That was the bookshelf tour. And that's it. Here's the last look at the complete shelf. And lastly, I thought I'd show you this frame I have right here. I made it myself, and I printed out all of these cards of all of my favorite books, favorite characters, and I just kind of spread a few rose petals in it. I made it. I'm very proud of it, and I think it looks very cute and very nice. So this is it. This is how it looks like. And for the announcement, I am very excited, you guys, to share with you that I'll be launching my very own book club to buddy read with you, to share opinions, read together, rant and fangirl, and talk all about books in our very own lovely and safe space for all. I am so excited. I will be launching this book club in Fable, that is the platform and app available internationally, and I am just so excited. The book club is set to launch this month. I am just taking care of the few last details, and all of the information I can provide, I'll put everything down in the description down below, and all of the updates about the book club are gonna go live first on my Instagram. If you want to go check my account there. I am so excited. I am so happy. I cannot wait to read with y'all. And yeah, so that's the announcement. Book club is coming. The book club is called 1,000 Lives Book Club, and I am so excited to live more lives through pages and through characters with you all. So I'm very excited, and that was the announcement. And that was the bookshelf tour, guys. I really hope I did that right. I tried my best, I promise. I hope you enjoyed that little tour. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you so much. Please stay safe, take care. Here are all my social medias. Everything is, as always, linked down below. And I'll see you guys very soon in my next video.